This is a short tutorial on and demonstration of Artisan Controls capacitive touch technology, which we have developed for user interfaces in challenging environments. This technology is very different than the touch systems used in tablets and smartphones, where surface contamination or wearing of gloves can easily cause erratic operation. This capacitive touch technology uses copper or metallic buttons, which with proper design and configuration can sense a human touch through up to 10 millimeters thickness of plastic, glass, gloves, or other non-conductive materials, and is currently used for exterior access control by several automobile manufacturers. The application I will show you today will be used for the replacement of rocker switches in commercial fryers. This is a prototype of the controller. The metallic touch buttons are on this side, which will be attached behind a steel front panel, with the buttons protruding through the holes in the panel and covered by a thick polyester overlay. On the rear side, you can see the output relays and the 1/4-inch male terminals for the power and switching connections. The outputs can be electromechanical relays, solid-state outputs, or a combination of both for maximum reliability and switching life. One critical design requirement is for the surface of the touch areas having a good mechanical contact to the back of the overlay. So the overlay must adhere firmly to the top surface of the buttons, which should be flush with the top surface of the metal. Here's the functional prototype. See, we're booting it up. It goes through a quick calibration and configuration of the buttons. The upper 3 buttons are replacing a center-off maintained rocker switch, and they select between the filtering mode, frying mode, and off. The lower 2 buttons are replacing a momentary rocker switch, which can raise or lower the food basket into the frying oil. The lamps on the right side show the state of the relay output contacts. So here, we put it into filter mode, those contacts close. Off, no contacts, fry. So that's the maintained mode. The lower, again, are momentary, just to initiate a sequence, probably with a motor drive, and then hitting a limit switch. So there's the down, down, up, up. One of the unique features of this technology is the ability to put these buttons into up to 4 different groups, which prevents operation of adjacent buttons due to the proximity of the user's hand. So I can be touching one of the upper buttons and the lower buttons at the same time. But I can be touching one of the upper buttons and touch any one of the other upper buttons. These are in one group, and nothing happens. I can just touch it once, and the system finds the button which is the highest level, and that is the one that was activated. This technology can provide up to 12 buttons, 4 button groups, and excellent flexibility on the overall and button-by-button performance. We have additional firmware, which besides configuring the touch system and driving the output relays, can also provide additional logic, like preventing the use of the basket control buttons when in filter mode, or providing a delay between state changes to prevent high inrush currents when reversing a motor. If this was a motor, you don't want to immediately go to the opposite direction. We could force a delay. Or any other logical functions your application requires, where you had to do relay interlocks to do certain things. We can actually do it within the firmware if we have multiple switches. Now I'll demonstrate the capability of this technology to sense through various materials. What we have on here is a paper and plastic overlay. The metallic buttons are right underneath. Here is actually a fairly thick rubber glove. So what I'm going to do is fold this over. So now we have 4 thicknesses of rubber here, which should be more than good enough for most kitchen environments. And as I hold that, you see, it still works absolutely fine, quite reliably. And again, all these features are configurable. If we have a very thick overlay, you could put a 16 thick polyester overlay over the top of this. We can make the adjustments to make sure everything up to several thicknesses of gloves do operate.